Hello and welcome to my last and final video for my computer literacy class of the 2025 fall semester. In my first video I covered modules 1 through 7, now I will cover modules 8 through 14 and describe what they are about and what I learned throughout my time during this semester. I hope what I talk about in my presentation will become helpful to you and you will learn something new about computer literacy. Here's my agenda for my second video this semester. We will be talking about app development, web development, networking, digital communication, digital transformation, databases, and the digital ethics in the lifestyle. The pictures I incorporate on this slide describe digital transformation, app development, and digital development. First, let's start talking about Module 8, App Development, categorizing the development roles and methods. Development is the process of creating apps from the idea stage to distribution to the users. App development can be when you create a store's app that can track the user's purchases, reward points, and even coupons. Identifying the development phases, a new project starts with a request or a specific need for a new app or even enhancements to a current project. The set of activities used to build a program is called the software development lifecycle, or SDLC. The S can also stand for systems. Describing development tools and strategies. Members of the team need to gather good data and information in order for it to be reliable and accurate. You need to keep the project on time and make sure the project meets the requirements. Explaining how to sell apps. When you sell an app, you give users the right to use the product according to the terms that are specifically in the license agreement. License agreement is identified as the number of devices on which you can install the product, any expiration dates, and other restrictions. Next, we have Module 9, Web Development, comparing the roles of CSS and more when you develop websites. HTML, also known as a hypertext markup language, is defined as a collection of symbols called tags to specify the content within a web page, such as headings, paragraphs, images, and links. CSS, aka cascading style sheets, is defined to specify the format and appearance of content on a web page, such as fonts, colors, borders, backgrounds, and alignments. JavaScript, defined as a language for writing scripts that run in your browser to control web pages' behavior. Manage websites using data, tools, and analytics. Website analytics are known to provide a set measurement that can help you understand how people use your website. The data can be displayed on the dashboard and it might contain charts. Build a website from code. Website builder apps are popular tools for building websites since they do not require great coding skills. If you learn how to code, it would be in your best interest so you can control on how your website page will look. Module 10 is about networking, key features of the connected networks. Network is a system of two or more devices that are linked by wires or anything of that sort. Networks allow some computers to share the resources like software and information. Connecting different types of networks. If a device needs to communicate on a network, you need to make sure the device is connected to the network. Issues of network security. Issues vary upon the network standards and the protocols the network calls for. If you store your personal information on network devices, you put that at risk for an online attacker to steal your information. Module 11 has to do with digital communication. Digital communication tools. Digital communication is known to be the transmittal of data, instructions, and information from one computer or mobile device to another. The types of digital communication include email, blogs, wikis, messaging, podcasts, video calls, online conferences, social media, social networks, and social creation tools. Impact of digital communication on everyday life. Life today in our working environments uses digital communication from emails to social networks. With the use of our environment using more of the digital communication instead of older ways, our newer industries will be thriving, but our older industries are suffering. Module 12 is a little different from Module 11. It is titled Digital Transformation. Let's start with cloud computing. Cloud computing is known to provide and use the technology tools like software. You can run a private cloud that does not use the internet, Or you could use a public cloud where multiple customers use the same internet. Companies doing business on the internet, doing business online is called e-business. A specific type of e-business is called e-commerce, which is the process of conducting to buy transaction on an electron network like the internet. New technologies include virtual reality, which is the use of the computers to simulate real environments that can appear 3D. Next, you have augmented reality, which is the type of VR that can use an image of an actual thing or something and it adds some digital information to it. AI technologies. AI is also known as artificial intelligence. AI is a technological use of the logic experience to simulate human intelligence. Is based off of databases. Importance of databases. Data is the most important to most of the organizations that exist in today's culture. Databases have an important job, which is to set up and organize data. Database Management System, also known as DBMS, it is a software to create databases and manipulate the data in them. Microsoft Access is a great example of a DBMS or a database management system. Importance of backing up databases. Backups should be updated on a regular basis. To escape a data breach, most users should use a long password and should not give it to anyone. To avoid this, it is important to back up your database. 14, which is describing the digital ethics and the lifestyle. Legal and ethical responsibilities. Digital ethics is the set of legal and moral guidelines that govern the use of technology. The responsibilities include digitally ethical and their rights. Importance of information agency. When digital information like social media is inaccurate, it can damage and affect the society. Citizen journalism is the involvement of non-journalists to edit and create news content. Ways content is accessible. Digital inclusion is the movement to ensure that all users have the access to data and devices and to make sure it is accessible. Promoting a healthy digital lifestyle. If a digital citizen is regularly evaluating the use of technology, it means they are promoting to have a healthy digital lifestyle. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was helpful and you learned some new things that I learned along the way throughout this semester. Bye!